September 11th, for me, like many Americans, was a day of sadness. It was a day of tragedy. It was a day that helped me understand that our world is a very dangerous place to live, and that more than ever it's important that we remain united as a country and that we stand proud as we move forward.
As a national organization representing all the counties of America, we have a responsibility to these first responders to provide them with the resources that they need to do their jobs in the future. We hope nothing like this ever happens again, but we need to be prepared and they need to have the resources to do their jobs.
When the rescuers started describing us New York firemen, first thing that popped to my mind was John O'Connell, big bushy mustache. I asked what was going on. He said it's bad. I said how bad? He said they're gone. They're all gone. It's burned into my head.
It was a picture that is emblazed on my mind and will be forever there.
From the moment I crossed the bridge to go into work that day and not seeing the Twin Towers, and you just see this black smoke there.
And a lot of times we didn't get to the fire got to us. It came out to meet us.
And the heat from the flames, and everybody screaming and pulling at you at the same time, come here, help me, do this, do that, was just gut-wrenching and heartbreaking.
And I listened and I could hear the plane. I couldn't see it, but I could hear the engine screaming. I could hear the whining noise. It was just seconds later and the plane hit. And the town just shook. Everything just rumbled under my feet. And I saw the fireball go up in the sky. I saw the mushroom cloud. And I said to my sister, "Oh my God, Jody, it crashed." She said, "I know, I heard it." And I said, "Goodbye, I gotta go."
On September 11th, I was at home and I awoke and turned on the TV set, unfortunately, to see the plane hit the first tower.
We watched the second tower be struck by an additional plane. We heard calls streaming in that the Pentagon was on fire, possibly a bomb, an explosion. And we routed ourselves to the Pentagon from there, which is about 3 minutes away.
What I kept trying to say is, don't look at the Pentagon, because I was going to be the incident commander for the law enforcement side of whatever was going to happen. And I was concerned that if I saw what the damage looked like, that would cloud my ability throughout the day.
All the ambulances that came and picked up everybody. Firefighters were making their first attack. They were going in with hose lines, and everybody was standing back, waiting and hoping maybe there would be more survivors that come out of this situation. And to no avail, that was it. Nobody else came out of the Pentagon from that point on.
The Reader's Digest way of describing Ground Zero is take a kid's erector set, put it in his toy box with all his fire trucks, his little matchbox police cars and regular cars, shake it up and toss it in the living room. There's just steel everywhere, crushed, destroyed.
You didn't feel like you were making a difference because they look to you to find their loved ones, and all you can say is, "I'm sorry, if we find anything, we'll notify you as soon as we can."
I was one of the first people to respond to the crash of Flight 93. It took us about 3 to 4 minutes, I guess, to get to the scene. We pulled up to the scene and got out of our fire truck, and it was just an unbelievable sight. There was total destruction. There wasn't anything identifiable as far as a plane.
First thing that I came to was the large crater. And it was at that point in time that I realized that this was actually a large crime scene, and that was going to be our function to secure this crime scene.
The earth literally opened up and accepted a huge portion of that plane. It actually swallowed that plane up. That plane was actually in the ground 38 feet and covered over.
And just looking up into the trees, into the hemlocks, and there was insulation, there were clothing scattered all through the trees, hanging through the trees. I remember seeing tennis shoes laying on the ground, empty.
I know a lot of people said that the people from the Shanksville area were victims, and I don't think we really felt that way at first. Of course, as it ended up, all of America were victims.
We went through pieces of steel that were just twisted and bent like a pretzel to areas that had the chairs still intact, still in the same position they were. Hoping in the worst way to find anybody, firefighters, civilians, anybody.
Somebody's grabbing me at the leg, help me, help me. You look down, you see a young lady. You can't even tell if she was black or white. She was all black and ash. Her clothes had just totally melted into her skin. Her skin and her clothes are all one at this point.
Because of the jet fuel, the heat was extremely intense. And you could tell with certain parts of your coat failing, a reflective striping would burn. Parts of your helmet would begin to melt. And that would let us know it was too hot, we had to back out.
I just knew that that area was just a devastation of death.
After the initial shock of getting on scene and seeing that there was no one to save and no survivors, how was my family?
Time we spent with loved ones have new values. It humbles us.
You think about the vulnerability. Now we're very vulnerable. Up until that point, we didn't think that something like this could happen.
I have children, and I worry about their future now, I believe, a little more than I had in the past.
I really don't want them to know about September 11th until later on when they get older. I think they're too young to understand all of it. I don't want to take any part of their childhood away.
I made a difference that day by helping as many people as I possibly could. I spread myself very thin that day. I ran from I spent no more than 5 minutes per patient and made sure everybody got equal share of care.
And I'll never forget driving home. That night, as tired as I was, in less than 18 hours, my whole block was lined with flags. And if I could say anything to anybody is, I don't want people to forget what this country means.
What I'd like Americans never forget about September 11th was what brought us, the good things that brought us to September 11th, and then how we reacted from September 11th, 9 o'clock in the morning past, to right up to today. The rescuers, the would-be rescuers, the civilians who acted on Flight 93.
And I think that's why everyone did unite so much afterwards, and even in the city, where sometimes, we are always in a hustle and bustle. People stop and are watching out for one another a lot more now because we're one, and we were all one that day. Didn't matter your color, your race, we were all Americans.
I'm Dave Fox from Somerset County, representing the Somerset County Emergency Management
My name is
Office.
Kenneth Sawyer, and I work with the Arlington County Fire.
My name is Elena Ponte. I'm a nurse. I work on the cardiology.
My name is George Dries. I'm a specialist with Baltimore County Fire.
My name is Rick King. I'm the Assistant Fire Chief of the Shanksville Volunteer Fire.
My name is James Anderson. I'm a member of the Arlington County Fire
I'm
Department.
Corporal Craig Bowman. of the Pennsylvania State Police.
I'm Richard Lohr. I'm Emergency Management Coordinator for Somerset
I
County.
am Rebecca Hackney with the Arlington County, Virginia Police Department. I'm a captain.
When America
Needs me.
I'll be there.
I will.